Hey guys, so I got a lot of questions from the Petron Preferred Shares video that I posted last night. And here's me answering all of your questions. I got questions about taxes, about what happens if the company would close down, what happens if it's not growing, how does the fundamentals affect this. So if you want to know more about the Petron Preferred Shares deal, and there were some questions that were not answered in the previous video, check this video out. Before I begin this video, I'd like to give this prize to Happy Stuff, who won the best comment and question from the previous video. So just message me on the back end of my channel so we could give you or ship this to you over the next few days. So if you're new to this, also subscribe, comment, give a question. The best question will be given a prize again. So let's get into the meat of all of this. So if you haven't watched the first video, I suggest that you watch the first video first, where I discussed why I love investing in preferred shares and why I invested in this Petron Preferred Shares deal as well. You have to understand that preferred shares are not for everyone. It doesn't give you as much growth as what you can expect from getting the normal stocks that have prospects for growth as well. So let's go by your questions one by one. So the first comment was by Captain's Academy. Passive income is amazing, great investment on your part. Yeah, that's why I keep telling people, no, especially for people who are a bit passive, who don't have the time to watch their investments or don't want to take a lot of risk, just keep on buying preferred shares. And as you keep on buying preferred shares, suddenly your base becomes bigger. And even if the rate is not as high as compared to buying stocks that are growing, but because you stockpiled a lot already over a course of time, if you get 10, 20 million earning, say 6%, that's still a lot already that you can get. So this is a good proxy for people who don't have the time to understand stocks or don't want the volatility of the markets. So what if this is a question naman from Joel Explorer. So what if a company suddenly declares bankruptcy, and what will happen to your preferred shares? So if the company declares bankruptcy, you have to understand this. You are an owner of a company. You are an owner of a publicly listed company. It just so happens that it's not a common share anymore, it's a preferred share. But if the company closes down, guess what? You are the owner of a company that's closed down. So normally what will happen is they will liquidate the assets. As they start liquidating the assets, people or entities where the company owes money from will be paid first. Whatever is left will go to preferred share owners. But again, at the end of the day, that's why we need to use fundamental analysis, because you should never invest in a company that has the potential to go bankrupt or close down. Never invest in on a company that's not fundamentally sound. That's why it will always go back to, if you are an investor, fundamental analysis as well. You need to know that they have the capacity to earn more, that as they earn more, they have the capacity still to give you out the dividends. So it's not guaranteed. Please remember that. Jafet Bastasa says, so it means preferred shares are similar to bonds. Correct me if I'm wrong. Besides, I didn't understand why I didn't mind, and I also need 50K for initial capital. Oh man. It's almost like bonds, but the main difference lang is this. Bonds is a debt. Preferred shares is from the earnings. It's basically dividends. So bonds, they owe the people money, or they owe the investors money. Here, they you will get a portion of the profit. So that's what I've mentioned in the first question, that if the company would close down, bond payers get paid first than preferred share owners. So it's similar, but the main difference is that they're not paying you debt or interest. They're giving you portions of the income that's relatively fixed. So if they have a good financial, if they have a good CFO, they already can compute already what they will possibly earn over the next few years, and then that benchmark also is their basis of their computation, that they can give you the dividends. Because the thing about that is, if the company is not doing so well but they're still earning naman, they will give preferred shareholders their dividends, but common shares, they may not get dividends anymore. You have to remember, common shares are the lowest rung in terms of them getting earnings and dividends. Next, I am Jam 101. Any sample computation for dividend earnings for this? It would be nice if you can send me the income that you would have. Kasi it's pretty much straightforward. When it's not income, but the capital that you would put in, it's pretty much straightforward. If you place 100,000 and the the yield is around 7%, so you get 7% of 100,000 less the taxes. Which, by the way, I'm getting ahead of myself already. I saw a question about that, which is 10%. By the way, one of the biggest advantages of preferred shares up against bonds, up against time deposits, is that the taxes are not 20%. You have to remember the withholding tax for bonds are 20%, but the withholding tax for this is only 10%. So that alone will give you a larger buck for your money na rin. So that's one of the advantages of it. Stephen De La Cruz, preferred share sounds very interesting. Though doing it on Petron, is Petron a solid performer? Kind of feels like speculation for me. You have to understand this. For growth stocks, for investing, uh, and for me getting capital appreciation, I'm not a big fan of Petron because Petron's income is not really predictable. Petron's income is highly dependent also on the world prices of oil as well. So that pretty much already will somehow limit its predictability because their margins will be affected by it. But I'm not in preferred shares for growth. I'm in it for the passive income that I can get for life. Because again, I'll keep saying this: the name of the game is passive income for life. The more passive sources of income that you have, the better it will be for you. And anyway, this is my rental income. If you've noticed it, I'm not a person who will buy property to have it rented out because I can get my rental income from preferred shares and bonds and common stocks that give me high dividends as well. Otep lang, he said, sir, is it possible to sell preferred share at a higher value if the stock price increases? May appreciation rin po ba sa maturity date kung tumaas value ng stock? Two things. If the stock price at the time that it is in the market is higher than the price that you bought it, of course, by all means, you can sell and take profits. It's just like any other stock that you can get in the market. Nothing, it really doesn't change. The volatility or the movement of it is pretty much predicated on the price, on interest rates. If interest rates are better today than what it was before, of course, the rates that you will get or the price of that stock will be lower. And if the flip side will happen, you get to sell it also at a higher price. But if you hold it until maturity, if you placed 100,000 pesos, guess what? It will still be 100,000 pesos still. Next, Annalisa Vasalio. What do you think is the future of traditional energy companies? Shouldn't we be focusing on renewable energy companies instead? That's true. And renewable energy, green energy is the future. However, we're not buying this for growth. If you want growth, of course, buy the ones that have better prospects. But not just better prospects. No, if you've been following my videos, it's not just about getting more prospects, but it's about also who are the ones that already have a track record of earnings and have rosy prospects later on. So if your model or if your gameplay is growth, by all means, buy those green energy companies, buy the ones that are still cheap right now and have rosy prospects in the future. But since it's just preferred shares, it's really about their ability to pay and their ability to be able to just maintain the dividend rate. So that's it for me. Brian Ethan, Sir Marvin, how about FPHPC? 456 pesos per share. It's now at a discount from 500 pesos with 2 years left of redemption. Is it a good investment? I mentioned this already that check the yield at 456 versus the dividend that you will get. Compare it. Is the dividend yield from the price that I'm getting and the dividends that I will receive, is it worth it? Or will there be other stocks that will give me a higher yield? So it's a yields game. It depends on what yield you will get and if that yield is acceptable to you, and will you get better yields up against other preferred shares out there or even other common stocks. I can't understand what your name is because I think it's Korean or Japanese or Chinese. Nice, you cleared my mind about it. I think I'll invest in preferred shares. Good for you. Congratulations. Happy stuff. Sir, what if hypothetically the company closes within 5 to 7 years? What will happen to preferred shares? I answered that already. Dan Francisco, are the dividends subject to tax? Yes, it is. I answered this already. It's 10%. Mary Maya, read first the prospectus before pulling the trigger. You'll learn a lot from there, of course. Please remember this. These videos are I think it's amazing kasi ako gumawa. But don't base your investment decisions on what I say. at the end of the day, you still have to study, do your due diligence, because at the end of the day, it's conviction that will help you make money in the markets. It's conviction that you know what you're getting into that will help you win. I see. What are the risks of preferred shares? What is the fundamentals affect this kind of investment? As mentioned already, if the company closes down, of course, they can't pay you anymore. You don't get your dividends anymore because dividends are part of the earnings. And if the company closes down, it means that they don't have any earnings. So that's your risk there. Michael Ordonez, 6 to 7% annually. No for you. Yeah, if it doesn't fit you and you want growth, no. Please remember, these are for people who have a good stockpile of cash already, just want to earn passive income. If you're still at the growth stage of your investment career, don't go for this because you really won't get any growth from this. This is just for you who want if you want to get cash flow. Latigo Rapper. Noel Jacinto, first pala, how much will be the initial investment? 50,000 is what brokers have been offering. The stock price is at 1,000 pesos per share, so you can peg it from there also that you get 50 shares for 50,000 pesos. But you can, of course, if you want to get more and earn more, you have to get more shares. Next, Latigo Rapper. I'm not getting Petron Preferred Shares. Reason, gusto ko sana lang kulang sa buying power. Kidding aside, thanks for the lesson, Mr. Marvin. Newbie pa lang ako sa stock market. Di ako nakahanda ngayon. Pero I'm sure a similar opportunity will arise in the future. By the time, hopefully, maging ready na ako. Yeah, please remember, there will be more and more and more offerings in the future. So if you can't get this one, it's okay. There will be more still in the future. Next, Ross Taupa. Is a dividend withdrawable every year? Or do you have to wait for maturity before you can withdraw it all? What if the stock drops 50% after maturity, then the dividend yields are negated? Number one, it won't drop 50%. I don't think it will drop. Of course, there's always a potential for it to drop 50%, but it won't. Second is the dividends are given on a quarterly basis. Eugene Clavesilia. I won't buy because I don't know yet. Very, very good. Never enter anything that you do not know. The greatest thing is that you are fully convinced on what you're getting into. SF. Hi, Sir Marvin. Tried to acquire Petron Preferred Shares at BDO and BPI last week pero sabi nila madami na daw nakapila. Do I need an inside broker? Oo, yun yung thing, no? It's first come, first serve. You have to get an allotment for it. So if you were not able to get, okay lang, there will be some, you can buy it from the open market pag nakalist na siya, you can just buy the stock, you can just buy the stock code. Or on the flip side, there will be more opportunities naman. If there will be new listings later on, you can get. You mentioned about brokers. Yes, you need to have a broker to be able to open. One, Garin, I'm for diversification of risk. Yeah, go for it. This could be a way for you to diversify. And my style, no, my trading, my investing, growth stocks give me the volatility, give me a larger rate of return. But this one naman will give me a smaller rate of return, but it will give me cash flow and it will give me something that's more stable. Jomar Holipas, how can I buy Petron Preferred Share? You just need a broker for it and fill up the forms. Let's go with Olga Espiritu. She's asking, hi, could you discuss the difference between preferred stocks Petron offered May 27 to 31 and the ones that are offering between June 3 to 18? I'd also appreciate if you could give me a sample computation in case one invests 100,000, 1,000 shares. How much would an investor expect after 5.5 years and 7 years? Also, the yearly income is different from the dividends, right? I'm considering investing, so I hope you could help me with your reply soon. So to make it easier, the dividends is the income. That's basically it. It's as straightforward as that. So meaning, if you placed 100,000 pesos, I mentioned this already from someone who asked earlier, you get straight the rate that you get when you place 100,000. That's it less 10%. So if it's 7%, 100,000, 7% of 100,000 is 7,000 less than 10% tax, which is 10% of 7,000, which is 700. So you get 6,300 as your return divided by 4. That's what you will get every quarter, and that's what you will get for the next 7 years. Something like that. And then in between you get nothing aside from the quarterly dividends. Then after the 7-year period, the money will be returned to you. You get everything intact. That's it. So the income is the dividends. They're not. It's not different. Then the May 27 to June 3, it's just one. There's only one offering. Please remember that. There's just the offer period from the date that it will be actually released to the public. Dan Alon, paano mag-register sa Icon Davao? Not related to this video, no, but to register for Icon Davao, we'll put up the link right after Icon Iloilo. So Icon Davao still November pa naman. You have a lot of time for you to be able to register. Michael Ordonez, for my passive income, I'll just invest in DV Bauer Farm 1 with the higher yield than this. I'm not too sure about those investments. I really don't know what they are. So I cannot comment if they are good or bad investments. But I only invest in things that I know. And when what I do know is I know a lot about the stock market more than other investments. So that's where I'm double downing. So I guess that's it. That's the last question. I hope I was able to answer all of your questions. And as always, I hope videos like this create as much value for you as possible, because of the goal, the narrative of why I keep doing what I'm doing. That's why I've been doing, if you've noticed it, no, sometimes it's not just one video a day. I post two videos because I just love this. It gives me a way also to communicate my thoughts, and it serves as an outlet also to at least educate you guys on investing, because I really believe that investing is the game. Investing allows you to live life at your own terms. Investing gives you control over your finances. Investing allows you that wherever you are in the world, you can win, you can make money, and it's not dependent on the government. It's not dependent on the economy. It's not dependent on what you see out there. It's you taking control of your finances. And I really hope that we see more and more Filipinos invest massively and be financially free, because it can be done. You can win. You can be financially free. You can live life at your own terms. You can do the things that you want. You don't have to wait until 60 for you to retire. You can do it right here, right now. And all you need to do is to prepare as much. And people don't like preparing it. People don't like preparing. People don't like to do the nitty-gritty. People don't like investments like this because it's boring. Please remember this. Sometimes it's the boring things that will make you rich. It's the boring things that people don't want to do that will give you cash flow in perpetuity. So that's it for now. The next event for Stock Smarts will be June 15. It will be Manila. Then after that, I'm flying to CDO, Hong Kong, Dubai for the next rounds of Stock Smarts. Those will be all in July and August respectively. So I'm just excited. I hope to see you guys soon, and I hope that if you have any more questions, just put them in the comment section below, and just like, subscribe, smash the bell so you get updated on all of this. I'd super appreciate it. So if this benefits also friends, relatives that want to know more about investing in preferred shares, I do appreciate if you could share it also to them. So that's it for now. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. Marvin Germo. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you.